Everybody, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
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 Hello. Okay, I see somebody now.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, there you all are. I found you.
Make sure we got everybody logged in here.
Hello.
Why mine's black?
My screen's black.
Anybody having difficulty with cameras?
Okay, there we go.
I had to push a bunch of buttons on mine to get it going right.
Okay. I just muted everybody, so there's not a ton of background noise, but feel free to unmute yourself here. Let me just give me 1 second here to get this going. Got other people hopping on here. Looks like we have, well, we only have 36 people, but looks like everybody that's coming is on here. So welcome everybody. We've got time to answer any and all questions that everybody has about the retreat. So I don't have any like official business besides the fact that we're excited everybody's coming. We're excited to see everybody. But yeah, I guess fire away with questions.
Okay, this is probably a silly question, but are we going to have a Walmart run? I'll need water and my tea for the hotel room.
Yes,
I can't live without those. I can't live without those things.
Yep. But we have plenty of water here, and we can. Yes, I'm sure we can figure out a Walmart run.
All right.
That was easy.
Yeah. A grocery store, Walmart.
You have a list of questions? Let's hear them, please.
Okay. Early arrivals. If we arrive early on Monday, do we go, and it's before check-in at the hotel, do we come to the store and check in there or wait till 6 o'clock or?
I think the check-in starts at like 3 p.m. on Monday, but if you get in like super early, well, yeah, we'll pick you up, we'll bring you to the shop, or we can also just see if we can get you an early check-in at the room, either one.
Okay. How many folks are coming? Do you
75.
Wow, great.
75.
Okay, that's exciting. Really important question. Are you going to be making coconut balls?
I will request that from Mom. They're good. There'll be lots of desserts. Desserts will not be missing from this event.
Okay. I just wanted to remind everybody, be sure and bring your bathing suits. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So don't worry if you don't like the way you look in a bathing suit. But if you're interested, it'd be awfully fun to hang out in the bath in the hot tub, maybe after we get back from our busy days, or maybe in the morning we could go out and do a little bit of exercise. So if you want to, think about bringing your bathing suit.
It's a nice spa there too, like a jacuzzis and
yeah.
We're into swimming, and the weather's gonna still be nice. So.
Okay, and the only other thing, Brody, and I hate to be, I know that I've sent a couple of texts talking about this, but is there any way that we can put together a page or a group where we can continue to talk between now and the
Yes,
event?
the only issue we've seen with that is that there are a lot of people who say I don't have Facebook, and so it might be a very small group of people on there. But I can definitely let me work with Rami and see how to put together a Facebook. I'm trying to see if there's another way to put together a group that isn't on Facebook. That's what I've been trying to work on. We've thought about doing like a group text, but some people don't want to do group text, so it's kind of a hard one. But let me keep working on that. But yes, that's in the plans. We might do a Facebook group, and if somebody can't get on, if somebody doesn't have a Facebook, then they don't have a Facebook. You know what I mean?
Well, there is a way to go on Facebook and do this, because I am with some other groups, and like sometimes, like if you pay for like a Zoom class or something, they set it up just to where you have that Facebook page where you can go and get the information all the time. And it's just, and you have to log into that one, and like when we submit our name, then you have to okay it, and then we're on just that Facebook page.
Yes, but you have a Facebook account.
Yeah, I do. But
Yeah,
I do.
the problem is there's a lot of people that don't.
right.
So yeah,
right.
I can make a page, and I can make a private page and everything, with the issues that there are people that aren't on Facebook.
Oh,
So
well,
they don't have to
maybe they
create a
have a
Facebook account.
friend. Maybe they have a friend that has Facebook, and they can use that maybe. Because a group text would be a lot of people texting each other. I mean, you'd be, especially with the different hours that we live in.
I agree.
We may be getting texts at 2:00 in the morning.
I agree. So let me work on a Facebook group, and if somebody doesn't have Facebook, then I guess you snooze, you lose.
I appreciate you working on it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. Absolutely. Friday morning or Saturday morning? Either one's fine. Okay. Yeah. Rough life you're living, man. Retreat to PIQF. Yeah, no problem. Anytime you have a problem. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh,
Very
that
cool.
sounds like
Love
fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 3 full-time drivers that can drive anybody anywhere at any time. So
Okay.
yeah. So if somebody's in the middle of their day and they're like, you know what, I want to go home and take a nap, driver will take you back. You can take a nap. Or if you want to go and whatever, we'll have full-time. I have 3 full-time people, and we have 15 passenger vans that are going to be able to take anybody anywhere.
Brody,
Whoever's next, go ahead.
I have a question. Will we know, since I'm rooming with someone, will I know ahead of time the name of that person?
Yes. Yes.
Will it come in a text on my
It'll
phone?
come in an email. We're going to send that out. We've just had a couple people at the last minute that have changed. Like they said, oh, I'm rooming with this person. I'm like, no, you're not according to what I have. So I need to know. So, but yes, I will send that out. I'm going to write that. Add that to my list here.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's first come, first serve, but everybody's there to have fun. So we'll all work around each other. They're all the same machine, and they'll all be set up already. Or, I mean, as of right now, they'll be set up on tables. I think we have a handful of machines that are, like if someone is really going to want to do a lot of free motion or something like that, we'll have different machines we can switch out. But ideally, we're going to have to set up, because 75 people and 75 machines is a ton. So if we don't have things pre-set up, we'll spend 5 or 6 hours setting up instead of having fun and getting going. So field trip, I would like. You don't have to wear PJs. Anybody that wants to, we're gonna have a PJ costume contest. Okay. And it's just a fun night that everybody's gonna be hanging out sewing. So that night is the new stash on that Tuesday night. And so our store manager, Carol, is gonna be hanging out with everybody during the new stash, and then we'll be doing like a live watch party, and then we'll keep hanging out and sewing. I've had like mixed, not reviews, but mixed inquiries about. Some people say like, hey, am I gonna be able to go home and go to sleep? And other people are saying, hey, can I stay there and sew? So I have like both levels of, some people say, can I stay till midnight and sew or whatever? And other people are saying, at 9 o'clock I'm done, I'm ready to go back. So we wanted to add a PJ night in there just so everybody knows that wants to stay late. Like, we're gonna have a night where anybody wants to stay late. I mean, you can sew just about any time during the whole retreat, but that we have a dedicated night for all the night owls that want to sew late night.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Internet is fantastic. We pay $900 a month for the internet in this building.
Oh my goodness.
It's it's good. It's the best there is.
Okay, Brody. So like when you do the free motion sewing on the long arm, I think is what was one of the classes. I already have a long arm. Do what?
Okay. It's domestic. It's not a long arm.
Oh, okay. So I won't be doing that class. Can I bring something to sew in the class at that time, like one of my kits or something from here?
So if you don't sign, we have classes 2 times a day. One of them is the one that's included in the retreat, and then there's a paid class every day. If you don't want to take either one of those, whether if let's say there's a free class you're just not interested in, you don't need to take any class. You could not be interested in any classes. You don't have to take any classes that you don't want to take. And if you're not taking a class, you're going to be hanging out sewing. It's going to be open sewing. So if you decide that, you know what, I'm going to take a class on every morning, and then the afternoon is going to sew whatever I want, great. Or if you decide that, you want to do classes one day and no classes the next day, it's all good.
Okay.
But that's why we sent out that email with the different classes to sign up with.
Right.
Even for this free classes, like everybody make sure you get on there, sign up, and that way we know kind of who to expect and how many kits we need and all of that. So, but yeah, by all means, if you don't want to take a class or one doesn't seem interesting to you, don't take it. Keep sewing, hang out. I'm sure we're going to have probably like a 50-50 split of people that are doing classes, people that aren't. And we have a secondary classroom set up. Depending on, like, let's say there's 75 people in the retreat. Let's say 70 of them want to take a class. We'll take the other 5 people and we'll move them to the secondary classroom instead of moving the 70 people to the other classroom.
Okay.
So everyone has to be a little flexible, and if it's a half and half split, we'll paper, scissors, rock and see who goes where, and we'll figure that out.
So I signed up for, I bought a kit I bought 1 or 2 kits. I don't remember now. But I don't know if I really signed up for the free classes or not. I don't know if I did it all right. Is that okay if,
yes,
or do I need to go back and try to do it again?
So we're going to get everybody, today's the last day for everybody to sign up for the classes. I don't mean last day, like you're not going to be able to sign up, but like we're trying to get everybody signed up by the end of the day today. And then Monday, we'll call everybody and just review your itinerary with you.
Oh, okay. And then we can just say we want.
Exactly.
You can say, well, I didn't sign up for this. I can now. Okay.
I didn't realize.
Hold on 1 second. I just muted everybody. You're going to have to unmute yourself, Tim. Yes. Yes, the only thing we're waiting on is the quantity because we haven't ordered that in yet. We're just waiting for the quantity of how many people are going to do it, and then we can work that out. Sure. Totally understand. It's going to be quiet, so good thing. Good thinking.
Hey, Brody.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, this is Laura, and I don't have my face up there. I don't know how to do that. But I just had a quick question about at the airport, is there any particular place that you want us to go, or how will we find you?
Okay. So when we get a little bit closer, what we're going to do is when everybody gets
Oh, there I
to,
am.
there you go, got it. So when
Thanks.
everybody gets to the airport, there's a giant Las Vegas sign like in the aisle on the floor. Okay, well, I'm gonna have pictures. I'm gonna show everybody like exactly where to meet, and everybody will meet like it's like a big center area, and it looks like the big Las Vegas sign on a dazzling, like shiny floor. So everybody will meet there. I mean, you'll see the So Yeah shirts. You'll see there won't be
Oh,
any problem with everybody seeing each other, and you guys all have the retreat phone number. Which, if you get there and you can't find somebody, I'll have the phone and I'll be coordinating the pickup drop off.
Okay, my question is, I didn't realize I was supposed to sign up for anything, and so I haven't.
Okay.
Why is, and so what day did you send that out? Because I don't remember that we were supposed to sign up.
That it was Saturday evening last week. You gonna have it resent to you, Kim?
Yes, that would be fantastic.
What's your last
And
name? Just iPad.
Fuller, Kim Fuller.
Okay.
Thank you. Also, we're supposed to come in on Monday around 3-ish is the best. And then our flight out on Saturday is what we're supposed to leave.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't made my flight, so that's why I'm asking.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
So come anytime on Monday. We're not really the first day is gonna be like a saying hi. We'll do a quick tutorial on the machines everybody's gonna be using just to make sure everybody knows how to wind a bobbin and all of that stuff.
what machines are we gonna be using?
So it's a brand new machine that isn't even on the market yet. So
Oh.
we've worked out a deal with Juki that it's a new machine that isn't out yet. So we're going to be the very first people in America to have that machine.
yay.
Pretty cool. You pull a lot of strings when you can say, I have 75 people coming from across the country, and everyone's gonna sew on Juki's. If we called all the companies and said, guys, just letting you know, whoever wants to be the best company in America, we knew it was gonna be Juki anyways, but we just we were.
So we have the option to buy the machine we're sewing on.
Of course. Especially you.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, none of them are for sale. Nobody's buying any sewing machines during this.
All right. Good. Because I got about.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute everybody real fast. Okay, I just muted everybody. Somebody just asked a question about stations. Unmute yourself, would you? Hold on, I'm trying to yes, please. Good. Cheryl Curley. Cheryl, yours keeps unmuting. It might be. Oh, now you're muted. You're good. Oh, now you're unmuted. There we go. I think you're good. Okay, so we will get everything set up on Monday. Everyone will have their table, like their sewing space. We're gonna have cutting tables already set up. We're gonna have ironing tables already set up, and then the machines are already going to be on the tables. So everyone can spend a minute, get there. If you're bringing your own little personal cutting mat or personal iron or anything like that, or just your project bin, whatever you're working on, you'll be able to get that set up. And then it's staying here in the store. So you won't have to take things back and forth. Obviously, if you would like to take something back to your room that you're still working on, by all means. But everything can be left. No one's We're not going to be changing the tables around or anything, so you'll be able to leave your things on the table. Whole. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm fairly confident we're going to be using these chairs. Okay, these are the ones that we sell. I'm not 1,000% sure about that, but obviously, if you're going to be sewing for 5 days, we want everybody to be comfortable.
Another option to buy, I assume.
I mean, if you want to buy one. Sure. You're gonna have it's gonna be, I don't know, I think they're 4 foot by 30 inches. It's a normal like sewing table. Yes. Yep. I don't think so, just because I've got like 400 circuits in this building. So if we start, I'm hoping to be able to run like 20 machines, 20 machines, 20 machines on individual circuits. I don't anticipate that being a problem. The Jukis don't draw tons of power. If it is a problem, I'll have extension cords ready and we'll run them from all over the shop. So
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
I'm considering taking in a show, possibly while
Okay.
I'm there. What time do you think? I know we're free to come and go as we want, but I don't
Yeah.
want to leave like just as dinner's being served. So what time do you think we'll be kind of finishing each day?
Okay, so each evening there are different things that are going on. So like one night's the PJ night, one night is honestly your best night to do it if you want to miss out on a lot of the other things going on is probably the PJ night.
The what night?
The pajama night. That's probably your best night if you're looking to go to a show or looking to go do some downtown entertainment. That's probably your best night because I know. So one of the events that we're doing is the closing night's gonna be a lot of fun. You wouldn't want to miss that. There's one with the Riley Blake instructor called Purchasing. We put that down as so we have the Riley Blake instructor is coming to teach her class. She's also our rep. So she's our rep for Riley Blake. And she's doing a trunk show with us that basically shows the buying process and shows a bunch of the different things that go on behind the scenes in Riley Blake as well as with us. So that's going to be another night that's like, man, you don't want to miss that one. But we'll do dinner probably 5:30, maybe 5:30 or 6, depending on how the schedule rolls out that day. I'm trying to keep a little bit of a fluid schedule just because, if class runs over a little bit, I don't want it to throw off everything else. You know what I mean? So we're trying to keep a fairly fluid schedule. But if you're going to do a show or something, probably Tuesday night's your best bet.
Okay, one more question for now. About the formal night.
Yeah.
Informal night. How I'm I don't really have anything on hand. And so it was funny because I completely skipped that over until I saw that Sherry McGill had brought that up the other night. She'd asked that question. And so I'm kind of wondering, I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb in some sort of way. I'm not sure how. I know it says formal.
Sure. So I sent an email out to everybody but you. You're going to be the only one that doesn't have what we need, okay? I'm just kidding. So it's informal night. So it's gonna be you can wear a boa, you can wear a skirt, you can wear regular clothes. It's gonna be informal in the sense that everyone's gonna dress up a little bit, but it's not gonna be like dress up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Everything goes. if everything goes as planned, I'm planning on having a tux coat made out of our fabric line for it. That's just fun. You know, I'm going to be wearing this underneath it. I'm not going to be wearing a suit and tie. But so it's just fun. It's informal. It's not. It's going to be fun. Just more like Vegas costume dress up than tuxedo and formal gown. Okay. It's the closing night. So it's the. Did you guys get the email that has the classes and everything? It's on that. It's the very last thing on that one. It's just, you don't have to sign up for anything. It's the last night is like our closing night. We'll have we have entertainment coming in. We've got all kinds of stuff. So it's the same thing. So we have a couple of different things that we have planned for the field trip. It's going to depend on how transportation works. So I have 3 15-passenger vans. That's 45 people, right? So, and one of those is the driver each time. So we're gonna have to break things up when we do our trips and things like that in 2 different groups to be able to get everyone. So we have 2 different field trips. I'm not gonna spill the beans yet on what the field trips are, but it's Vegas themed, Vegas related. If you're coming to Vegas, I don't want you to just spend the whole time in between here and the hotel. We're hoping to show you a couple other things here in Vegas too.
Okay, so did you send me that thing? Because I haven't gotten it.
I haven't sent it. No, I just wrote it down in my notes.
Okay. Because I'm at another retreat and I just want to make sure that I get it sent back to you today. Okay.
I'll send it to you right after this.
Okay, thanks. I gotta go. Thanks for all the info.
Yep.
All righty, bye-bye.
Yes. Yep. You can, yes. And I'm happy to have a runner go and get it too. So like if somebody wants, Subway or wants whatever, we can work that out and go get that. We're talking about the possibility of doing like a sack lunch. That's like a pay an extra fee that day and we bring in a lunch of some kind, like sandwiches or like something like that. We're still trying to figure out the logistics of it, to be honest. It's a lot of, I'm trying to make sure I have enough people everywhere that I'm not saying we're doing a sack lunch and, I'm doing a sack lunch at 2 a.m. then every night. You know what I mean? So either way, there's plenty of food options. There's plenty of food around here. And I have plenty of everybody delivers in Vegas for free. So if you wanted to call in, 5 people want to do Chinese food, 5 people want to do whatever, and 5 people want to do whatever, it'll be easy to do.
Brody.
Yes. Yeah. I'm working on options.
Aren't you, you're serving breakfast and dinner, right?
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot of food you guys eat 3 times a day. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, there'll be a little bit of everything. So, and again, there's stuff. I mean, there's a Wendy's a block away. There's Chinese food. There's Mediterranean food. There's fried chicken. There's Mexican food. I mean, I'm a foodie. I made sure our building is perfectly placed in the middle of Food Central. So we've got plenty.
Brody.
Yes.
I would like to talk about the flight for a minute.
Yep.
I'll be on Southwestern and I've never flown.
Yep.
So now I'm flying
doing
with 2 other,
Southwest.
and I'm flying with 2 other people. But my question is, I'd like to just bring on a carry-on bag with everything in it. And I've got the right size, but can I put like my rotary cutter in that? And no. You have to have that.
You can put a rotary cutter in there, but don't put a blade in it. Just buy a pack of blades when you get here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Nothing sharp.
Scissors underneath 3 inches. You can take a pair of scissors if the blade is under 3 inches. I don't think they would stop you for a seam ripper. Yeah. And then you could take a rotary cutter, but take the blade out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, but
But-
those,
Right.
you can put it in the check bag. Okay. All right.
Yeah. You can put anything but explosive pretty much in a check bag. Yeah. In your check bag. Yeah. In your check bag, you can put anything but an explosive pretty much in a check bag. You can take
Okay.
guns, knives, blades. I've flown with all of that, and it's fine as long as it's not going into the aircraft with you.
Okay. All right. I'm just afraid I'll lose everything because I've never flown, and it's like, I don't know where it's going to end up. You
I
know.
fly every other week just about, and I have never lost a bag.
All
So
right.
I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, you watch,
All
you're
right.
going to be the one person that gets here and loses a bag,
Exactly.
right? But
Exactly.
I've never lost a bag. I've flown internationally all over the country, and I've never lost a bag.
All right. Sounds good.
One time, someone else picked a bag up that looked just like mine. And I got home and I called the airport, and within about 4 hours, they delivered my correct bag to me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You know, I have a question for you first. How you liking that new machine? Good. What are your questions? Good. Yes, yes, you can add a day. Go ahead and text that retreat line. Anybody that wants to add an extra day, whether it's before or after, just text us and I'll send you an invoice for the extra day, and we'll add it to the reservation. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. You would just have to bring your own, Laura, because I have Isaccord and I have Orpho. I don't have any other brands here. So if you prefer to go on Mettler, on Gutermann, or whatever you prefer, yeah, you'll have to just bring it. Absolutely, yeah. Everyone's going to be here inside the store, so like you don't need to worry about bringing. Obviously, bring whatever you would like, whatever you're most comfortable sewing with. But we have our entire floor here. I mean, if you need thread, you need needles, you need whatever, we're going to have it here. So it's. I know. One thing we have too, I mean, you're all about convenience, right? We have boxes with everybody's name on them that if you end up buying more than you want to carry home, or you want to carry any of it home, we can just put it in the box and put it in the box, and we'll just ship it for you when you're done. Even let's say you finish a quilt top during the retreat, or you finish or whatever, we can just put it in the box and we'll ship it home to you. That way you don't have to worry about space or being too heavy or anything like that. So.
Oh boy, that opens up everything.
I know, right?
Yeah. Brody,
Yeah.
you have some questions in the chat.
Oh, sorry. I'm not a Zoom user, guys. So let me see. Somebody said, sorry, I don't know how to Zoom. Me either. Okay, so what is informal? So informal is, we talked about that earlier. I think that question's been answered. Can we arrange a Sunday check-in? Yes, if you want to check in on Sunday, you'll be able to check in at the hotel. You can text us now and let us know so we can send you an invoice for the extra room. I do have to say, Sunday night rooms so Friday night's the most expensive, Saturday's the second, and Sunday's the third as far as staying in Vegas. The prices aren't all the same during the week. So you will pay a little bit more to stay in the hotel Sunday night. but we just charge you whatever the hotel charges us. We don't upcharge any of the hotels. So, but yes, just text us and let us know. And it's breakfast at the shop or the hotel. Breakfast is here at the shop. We have 5 in our group and only want 2 rooms. Is there a discount or how will that work? Let's see. We have, text me about that and I can see what I can figure out. And then so will spouses be allowed at any of the evening events? If you have a spouse that you would like to be able to come to an evening event, I just need to know, we're totally maxed out in space. So we don't have tons and tons of room. Like it's going to be a tight fit. So I just need to know ahead of time so I can be planning for that. So we can work that out. So if you have a spouse that you like that's attending with you that you want to be able to attend, just text me and let me know. Okay. What's the name of the resort? Resort's called Sun Coast. It's about 2 miles from the shop. It's straight up Charleston. So it's like 2 miles away. We're coming in late Monday after everything is over. Will that be a problem? Not at all. We just have to know your flight information so we can take you to the hotel.
Brody, do you want that text to go to the retreat text line?
Please.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have any questions, the retreat line is your go-to. Apparently there was an issue with the phone and the messages didn't come through last week. And so all of a sudden I looked at the phone, there's 50 messages on there. I'm like, what the heck? Like, where did this come from? So we had that with our shop phone too, our D-Stash phone. You guys have heard me on the chat talking about the phone issues we've had, but let alone, personnel issues. But we were starting the new stash. The phone had like 4 people that we were replying to on it, and 120 messages came in before the phone did an update, and the messages hadn't been categorized in the phone. They all came in. I'm just like, wow, who knows how long these have been waiting. I don't know why the phone did it, but whatever. So another question, if I sign up for all free classes, what all supplies will I need? It says on the email that you got what supplies you'll need. Most of them are just the basic supply kits, which you're welcome to purchase or you're welcome to bring. It's just normal sewing supplies. Like you're gonna need a seam ripper, you're gonna need a marking device, a pair of scissors, thread, all of that. And it says underneath each class what you'll need for it. Yeah. All inquiries about retreat, please send it to that text, that retreat line. And then the phone, I'm going to have the phone. I'm going to be like a dispatcher sitting here sending vehicles out to get people at the airport. I'm hoping, so I want to get as soon as you guys get flight information, please let me know. That way I can kind of coordinate. If I know that 10 of you get there within the same hour time frame, I'll coordinate one vehicle to pick up those 10 people. Or if I need to do a late night run or an early run, I can have that coordinated and send out vehicles to get everybody. I'm hoping that not all 5. Yeah, no, you're fine. As long as if you get bumped to hey, or if flight gets delayed or whatever, all you got to do is text that line and let us know what's going on. That way we can work it out.
Brody, I have a question. This is Sheila DeFrancesco, not Julie Rambo. That's my daughter. Hi. So what time, I want to know about flex time, open sewing time. If I've signed up for, I think I have a class, at least one class each day, about how much open sewing time will there be and what time, what's the earliest that we can come each morning?
Okay, so the classes are all about 3 hours long. And so if you took one class a day, pretty much the rest of the time that you're not eating is open sew. Okay. So you have plenty of time to sew. Okay. If you take all of the classes, you're not going to have uber amounts of time to do free sewing. Like if you take 2 classes each day, but there's still going to be time to sew. We're pretty much going to let everybody sew as much as they want to sew. So
and I know you said as machines are going to be set up. I'd like to bring my own. Is that going to really cause an issue for you?
Not at all. So in that sign up for the classes, there's a machine
Right.
rental button there. If you didn't check that out, I won't have a machine for you set up.
Okay.
So that way, if you want to bring your own machine, obviously you're local. So if you want to bring your own machine and whatever, so on what you're used to, absolutely, that's not a problem.
And what time in the morning? I'm sorry, are we starting?
That's so. On Monday, when everybody gets there and we've done the introductions and all of that kind of stuff, we're gonna talk about the times and maybe we'll do it a little bit before then. I'm good to start as early as anybody wants to start. I'm gonna have probably 2 different pickup shifts and 2 different drop-off shifts. So like, let's say you have your early birds that we'll have like a 7 a.m. and we'll have like a 9 a.m. or whatever it is. That way, those aren't official times, but something like that, to where if somebody doesn't want to get up early and they want to sleep in, they want to whatever, great. And we could even have a later one after that if somebody really wants to stay up at night and vice versa. So like right after the closing, like when we finish everything we're doing for the night, let's say trunk shows over, whatever, let's say it's 9 p.m. we'll do the first run to the hotel. So like anybody that wants to go to the hotel, we'll take everybody home. And then at that point, like if someone wants to show another 2 or 3 hours, we'll do a late night drop off too. Okay. That way we're trying to be flexible with everybody. We know that not everybody's on the same schedules. Or maybe you're almost done with that project and you don't want to go back until it's finished. I understand all that. So yes. Free sewing, hanging out, sewing. 2 separate rooms. Yeah, so it's 2 separate rooms, and based on once everybody gets signed up, based on who signed up for what. So it's possible. I just need to let everybody know. So let's say Kim, you don't want to take the Riley Blake class, and 60 people do, and 10 people, 15 people don't. Even though you didn't sign up for the class, I might have to move you to the other classroom because it's way easier to move the 15 people that didn't sign up than the 60 people that did. So everybody just has to be flexible. Like, hey, I might have to move you for a class, but we'll move the machines in. You just have to pick up your stuff and walk it across the building. So. Sure. Everything is done. The reservation's under your name and your roommate's name. If you got a double room, you'll just have to show your ID when you get there. So we'll drop everybody off. You'll go inside. You'll just show them your ID. They'll give you your key card, and you'll have already met your. If you come straight to here, you'll have already met your roommate. But if not, you'll get there and you'll have your roommate, and you both have the key to the building.
No.
Yes, make sure that we know that. Did you rent an individual room in the first place? Private room. Then all you have to do is just add him to the reservation so he can get a key card too, or just get 2 key cards yourself and hand him one. Go ahead and just text me your husband's name and his birthday, and I'll just add him to the room for you. Yep. What are the questions we have? Hi, Cindy. Okay. Just text that line one more time and say, husband's coming with me, not attending the retreat. Okay. That way we know, and so we can count for, if everybody that got a private room is bringing a spouse or a friend and they're not coming to the retreat, I just need to know that for transportation. That's all. I can tell you what I've seen, what's the most popular as far as I've done a lot of retreat research, asking everybody that goes to retreat what they like, what they didn't like, and most people do either a pre-cut project or something that, like, let's say you have a whoever in mind that you're going to make a quilt for in the future, Christmas or whatever it is. You either bring a pre-cut that you like, or you get one here and do something that is not ultra mentally intensive, because you're going to be talking, there's going to be noise, there's going to be whatever. If you're going to do something like this, it's half square triangles. You get 2-layer cakes, you can do half square triangle quilt like this, and you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about it. Because I've seen people at retreats that are trying to do something real intense, and all of a sudden their quilt looks like it.
Yeah, I agree. Don't bring something that you really have to concentrate on a lot. Bring something that's a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah, I always cut it home before I take it to a retreat.
I like the pre-cut. I think that's you gotta unmute yourself. Yeah, the text us, and I will check with the hotel and see if you guys can check in. Being that it's a Monday, I don't know if usually people leave Sunday afternoon. I'm assuming they'll have things. Monday's their biggest cleaning day because everyone's checked out over the weekend. So if they have the rooms available and they can do that, I'm going to request it, but it's going to just be based on what the hotel can do. Yes. So so what we provide in the class is you'll have a quilt sandwich is what it's called. So it's going to be like a fat quarter and then a piece of batting and a fat quarter that are together, so you can just practice on it, free motion quilting. Then we have the additional kit for that if you want to purchase that, which are quilting paddles. And the quilting paddle, basically, are you familiar with Martelli's products? Okay, so basically they're two little things you hold on to that you put on top of the fabric. And it's basically like ultra sticky. It's not actually sticky, it just grips the fabric really well, where you can hang on to the paddles and move it around, and it just gives you extra grip on the fabric rather than trying to hang on to the fabric yourself. So
She could just Google quilting paddles.
Yeah, you can see it, or you can go on our website. It's not necessary, but when you start using them, if you like the free motion and you enjoy what you're learning in the class, it's an investment that pays itself over 1,000,000 times over, because they're awesome. So, and yes, but more, yeah. There's a lot of people that use quilting gloves. Quilting gloves are good. They just, in my opinion, I like quilting gloves. Don't get me wrong, but the paddles that we just had paddles made, like we had them outsourced and made, and when you're in the, my dad always says the only thing you can do well with gloves on is pee your pants. That's what my dad used to always say. And like, if you're in the middle of doing something, you need to stop and you want to send a text message, you want to rethread your machine, you want to whatever, you got to take your gloves off. Whereas paddles, you just let them go, and you can do whatever you need to do. You can check something, you can whatever. There's some people that are really big promoters of gloves, like Krista Watson's a domestic quilter, and she has her own line of gloves, and it's all preference, but the paddles for me are where it's at, because I'm not going to usually sit down and do the same thing for more than a minute before somebody's calling me. You got bobbing, you got to whatever. And that gets frustrating if you have to do that 10 times during a free motion project. Yeah, you're welcome. Yes, but all the techniques are 100% universal. So the idea behind each one of these classes is to teach something that you can then take. And if you enjoy it, if it's a 3-hour class and it's not something you take, like, oh, that was fun, but I'm never going to do that again, that's okay. But the idea is to introduce people to things that, like, I've seen incredible collage quilting masterpieces that people put together. And that all starts by somebody doing a simple 3-hour introductory class of this is how you do this. Same with free motion, same with, you know, any of the other ones. The 10 Sisters class can be really fun. And we gave you something to make a little small project, but I can see lots of people doing that and then walking up to the till and buying a pack of them so they can work on that during the retreat, during their free time. I mean, the idea is to do an introductory kind of class, and then from there you'll be able to see if you enjoy doing that. I know that free motion quilting on domestic machine isn't my thing. I'm not good at it. I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy using a long arm, and I like straight line quilting a lot better than I like free motion quilting. That's my personal preference. I have mad respect for anybody that does domestic machine quilting. I'm just not good at it. I can't get the hang of it. But so I've seen people that do it the very first time, and I swear within 10 minutes they're doing it better than I've done it. I practiced a ton. You know what I mean? People like it more than other things. So the idea is that it's an introductory. All of them are introductory classes, pretty much with the exception of the shimmer class. Shimmer, you're going to learn new techniques and everything, but that's like a project-based class. Everything else pretty much just an introduction so that people can see what they enjoy. And then from there, we have the supplies here that you might say, you know, I love the 10 Sisters class, and you buy a 20 pack of them, and you can make whatever quilts here in the store during your free time sewing.
Brody,
Yes.
is there any chance there might be some time for tips from you on the long arm?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
What brand?
Only people that want to buy one. I'm just kidding. Yeah, everybody's gonna have the yeah, we're all gonna be here. But yes, we sell handy quilter long arms. That's the machine that we sell. We're gonna have one in the classroom as well. So if people want to try it, they want to hang out, they want to practice or finish a quilt top. Let's say you finish a quilt top, Bev, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna quilt this thing. You can do it. So
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Brody, there's a difference between want to buy and can buy.
I agree. So yes and no. The machines you're using, as far as a bag project goes, there isn't a better machine to do a bag project on. It has the built-in, it's not called dual feed, but it has built-in, it has a walking foot that comes with it, basically. So you won't have an issue with a bag project, for sure. If you're doing any bag project, anything with free motion, or just regular straight stitch, the only thing it won't do is it won't do zigzag. If there's something that you need to do with zigzag, we'll have a couple machines classroom that do zigzag, but the majority of the people aren't going to have a zigzag machine. Yeah. If anybody's familiar with the Juki 2010s that we've talked about, it's basically the new upgraded version of that isn't out yet. Yes. We'll have 2 or 3 other machines as well. Like we've got, yeah, we'll have 2 or 3. There's something specific that somebody needs. I know somebody requested an M7. They said, listen, that's what I'm used to sewing on. I have projects that I'm working on. If I have an M7 on the floor, absolutely somebody can use that. If I don't, though, it's going to be just the regular machine. I know some people are brand specific, but obviously the show floor, they're still selling those machines during the retreat. So I couldn't pull all my, if everybody that owns a Bernina says I want to sew on a Bernina, I wouldn't have the stock to do that. Nor would that make any sense on as far as, they still have to show those machines. I still have salespeople working that day. Or that week. So, but yeah, if somebody has a specific need on a machine, or like they say, hey, like I really need a serger, we've got that. We can, as long as 70 people at the same time don't need a serger, we'll be okay. Yep. We should have, it's 100 feet of design wall. So there should be plenty. Again, guys, and it's also, you guys are kind of our guinea pigs. Like, we think that we have everything figured out, but isn't that like the famous last words of everybody, right? Like, I think I got this figured out. We have everything figured out. We have design walls. We think we have adequate cutting and ironing space. We think we have adequate, design space, bathrooms, food area. We think we have everything down, but everybody's going to have to be a little flexible in that. If everybody decides to cut a monster project at the same time, we'll have to work around each other. So if you have something that you're very particular about, like if you're used to cutting and let's say you're doing like a paper piecing project, you're probably going to want to bring your own little mat. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing a EPP project, you're probably going to want to bring a little iron, because if the ironing station might be 10 feet from you. So if you have something you're particular about that you usually use on a regular basis, I'd recommend bringing it, just because, there's going to be about, I think we figured there's going to be 8 people to a cutting station. There's going to be 8 people to a cutting station, but it's a big enough cutting station that 2 people should be able to cut on it at the same time. Huh?
And I'm going to bring a small wool mat, and you turn it over and it has a cutting board. Yeah. And I'm going to bring a small Alyssa iron. Yep.
And we're going to have those little cutting mat, ironing mat deals if anyone wants to buy one here. But yeah, bring them or share. Put it down too. Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm going to have an emergency button there just for that. Like I can't get up. Help me. Yeah, it's ADA compliant, and so are I know that we have a couple of retreaters that are coming that are I think we have 1 or 2 that are in wheelchairs, and so there's plenty of hall room space. There's plenty of if you have a walker, if you have a cane, there's plenty of hall room space. There's plenty of all of that, and we'll put you, if you have a physical disability, we'll put you in the least trip area where you're close to the bathroom, you're close to everything, but not going to have to walk around a bunch of people and over bags and all of
that. So. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're excited. There's a lot of just I don't know. There's a lot of just like days I'm like, what are we even doing? Like, how are we going to do this for 75 people? But we're eventers. We do a lot of in-house events here. Any of our locals that know that we do, we could have 200 or 300 people come through the store on a given day during an event. So we know how to run events. It's just there's going to be the unexpected. As long as everybody is willing to work it out with us, we're excited. Yeah. So,
hey,
Well
Brody, I have a
said, Sherry.
question.
Yeah.
Oh. Brody, I have a question. I'm a local, and
Yep.
I'm sorry, and I came in a little late this morning. It's still early here in Vegas. And I'm sorry if you've said this already. What time can we come and set up our things on that Monday? Anytime. And can I can bring my own machine and I set it up, and I don't have to like drag it back. I can leave it whatever my station is.
Yep.
Awesome.
The only reason you don't have to move your machine is we talked about a little earlier of, let's say there's 30 people in the class that sign up for the one class and 30 people don't want to. Depending on which is the bigger majority of the group, the minority group will have to move to another classroom, which is here in the store. So let's say you're one of 15 people that doesn't want to take the free motion class. We'd have to help you move to the other classroom, and that way the class isn't disrupting you or you them.
Okay. And do you
So-
know, I'm sorry, I have two like different size machines. What, and I don't know if you're down, if you have this information, how much space will each of us be allotted at a table? I don't know if you even know that number.
Our classroom tables.
So we'll get a classroom table?
Yeah.
Awesome, because I know what that is, so.
Yeah. So there's going to be a handful of people, and depending on what everybody's planning on sewing, we have some 8-foot tables, so there'll be 2 people to a table on it, which is, I mean, it's the same amount of space, but it'll depend on what people are doing as far as sewing goes. Like if one person's going to be doing a lot of handwork or a lot of whatever, they could be on a table with somebody that's doing a lot of sewing work, because the 2 machines aren't going to be competing against each other. We'll figure all that out.
Great,
That's,
thanks.
I just want to say that, you know, I go on 3 retreats a year, Kathy and I, and 12 of our friends usually. And this is the most organized, well thought out retreat I've ever been on. I mean, usually we just pack all of our stuff in our irons and all of our fabric and go. And then we sew for 5 days. So this is going to be more like an entertainment retreat. I love it.
We're really hoping, you know, when we talked about retreats, so I've done, like I said, I've done a lot of retreat research, and every time I go to a show, every time I go to an event, I ask people like, hey, do you go to retreats? What do you like? What don't you like? And when I first originally did this, most people were like, yeah, my retreat's $300. And I was just like, that's not going to work. Like the way we want to put on a retreat and the I don't know, the magnitude of it is way more than what way more than what $300 would cover. Does that make sense? So we said when we were talking about it, I'm like, man, like this is going to be on the more expensive side of a retreat when we were talking about the dollar amount for it. And my mom said to me, she's like, we're not trying to put on a cheap retreat. And that really hit me. I'm like, you're right. Like we're trying to put on a 5-star retreat, not a cheap retreat. So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad that that's something that you appreciate, because it's we're trying to put on a 5-star retreat. So I hope everybody expects that, and I hope that we are able to deliver that, because that's the goal.
Brody?
Dan comes over here. He just walked in.
Product questions. I can answer all those for you. So by October, our basic wall should be finished, hopefully. So Fairy Frost will have the top 75 colors in stock for the rest of ever. Our 108.
Like you don't have enough.
So our our 108 section will be complete too by then. So we're hoping to have around 100 to 200 volts of 108 fabrics. And then our meaty section will be finished, and our panel section should be finished by then as well. So we'll make it. We'll definitely make it for that. Yeah. And is there anyone that has like a specialty basic that we should consider bringing in? Stonehenge? I'll make sure I have a lot of that one.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Roxana, our rep, you guys seen her on the feeds. She's amazing.
And you can never have too much grunge.
That's
Right.
true.
That's my
I
basic.
love grunge.
I think that delivers.
Don't worry, we got plenty planned.
I told them that will definitely happen on that.
Yeah.
You better have big boxes for shipping.
Don't worry. We've got
Brody?
boxes. We've got a whole shipping department.
You should explain how that works.
So, I do.
Brody?
Yes.
I have one more question. I see my thing says Laura. I'm Laura Robinson, so it's nice to meet you. Hi.
Just go ahead.
I'm driving, or I want to drive, and my husband won't let me drive by myself. So I'm coming from Ventura, California. I just want to know if there's anybody out there that lives in my area that might be interested in riding up with me.
Any Californians out there that aren't flying?
Sorry, I live in Oklahoma.
Oh, I won't be able to stop by. Okay.
Florida's out of the way.
Florida, yeah, holy smokes, yep. Take a long way.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody anyway.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's gonna be very. You can buy a long arm, okay? Yes, it's very open and loose. You're gonna be here in our store, and it's as long as you're here, you can shop. So before classes start, in between classes, during classes, I will have people here ready to check you out anytime. Let alone just we're working on an open tab. Our system won't do an open tab. Like, let's say you're in the middle of a class, you can just holler like, hey, Xanthia, and I need this pack of needles, and they'd be able to add it to your tab. We used to be able to do that, but our new system doesn't let us do that. We're working on coding that in where you just pay your bill at the end of the night. But either way, you'll be able to just check out and.
Well, my shopping time is going to be when I have to stretch my legs.
Yes.
And just walk around the shop and see what I want.
Yep, exactly. And then again, we're going to have, boxes that are like your shipping boxes. So whatever you don't use, if you see something you like, but you're not going to use it during the retreat, you can buy it and it goes in the box and then it ends up getting shipped to you at the end.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the warehouse close to the quilt shop? And would we be able to see the warehouse?
Yes and no. Yes, it is close to the quilt shop. It's all the same building. So we have a 22,000 square foot building here. So 12,000 square feet of that is show floor. And then we've got another couple thousand square feet of offices and inventory and all of that. And the rest of it's warehouse. I'm hoping if things are going well in the warehouse the way they should be, I'm hoping to be able to do a little warehouse tour. But it's going to just depend on where we're at that moment. But yes.
Okay.
But we can't have people in the warehouse when our warehouse team is working due to heavy equipment. Yeah. We have to be able to power everything down, let people in. So it just kind of depends on that.
Yeah. What other questions?
Yeah.
And it just depends. It's like I could have a totally clean warehouse ready to rock and roll where there's plenty of space and there's no trip hazards and all of that. And I can then get 20 pallets delivered that same day. And it ends up making it a trip hazard and yeah. It's cold back there. It's I don't want to say it's dirty because it's not dirty in the sense that like it's just when you get shipping by, you'd be amazed after we unload. Every bolt of fabric that comes in is covered in plastic. When you unload the shipping boxes, your hands are just black. And it's just because it's gone through freight and pallets and trucks. And so anyways, that's we're gonna try. Someone says you might be able to see the shelf of shame. The shelf of shame is back there. It's a big old long shelf.
That's where that $500 is.
I'm wondering where that is. I've got so many things planned. You're gonna be so tired of buying by the time this is over, Kathy. Right? I know it. No, we're gonna have lots of obviously I'm going to tell you the truth with retreats. So money, as far as the business goes, obviously we do retreats because we're a business and we're providing for our families, right? The cost of the retreat, there isn't money to be made in the cost of the retreat. So when people come and they're buying, I mean, it's just not, hotel rooms are, we're getting uber good rates on the hotel rooms, and those rates are the rates that you're paying for the hotel. So like the rest of it is going towards, and then there's, you know, there's 10 different meals, there's snacks, there's fun, there's all of that things that are going on. I have 3 people that are being paid full time to run vans around. I have 3 vans, you know, and all of those things. So obviously anything that anybody wants to buy and shop here, wonderful. But at the same time, this isn't going to be a sales event, a pushy sales event. You know, I've seen retreats where it's like, I feel bad for the people that are there. Like, she says she doesn't want the machine, leave her alone. Like, she doesn't want to buy the machine, you know? And I've been to different retreats or like class events that are like 3-day classes. And it's like, my goodness, it's like you have hound dogs behind you all the time. Like, you can buy this and you can buy this. And we tried to put everything up front, like on the classes, where it's like, this is what you need for the class, we're providing it. And then if you want to buy these things, you can, and they're here, but it's not going to be, you know, I've seen teachers in classes, they're like, you need this, and if you don't have this, you're never gonna be able to be a good free motion quilter, and blah, 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 blah. And we just don't do it that way. So any shopping he wants to do, there's gonna be plenty of shopping. I hope everybody shops and plans on bringing a little extra spending money, but it's definitely, What's that? We don't know yet. Yeah.
So two things.
Wait, can I do the first one? I also don't want to sell somebody on a machine. I can say, listen, it's going to be $1,200 and it has these features. Oh, that sounds great. I don't want you to be sold on a machine that isn't perfect for you. Like, you're going to have access to all the machines that are in our store. But like, yes, you're going to be sewing on that machine. But if somebody that says, like, you know what, I'm looking at getting a high-end brother or a midline brother or a Bernina or whatever it is, we can pull that machine and put it in the classroom for you for the day so you can try it out. And that might be a better solution for you than the Jukies that we have there. So I want everybody to be able to, I don't want to say it's $1,200 and that's what you're thinking, and then there's a machine that's $1,400 that's a better machine for you. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to be able to have all the options. You might get there and not think you're going to buy a long arm, but let me tell you, you're going to be buying a long arm. So no, I'm just kidding. So anyways, I want everybody to have this flexibility. We want everybody to have the flexibility of getting, I hate it when people sell machines to other people that aren't what is good for the customer. I see it all the time when I talk to customers of just, it's trade shows.
Now,
I had a lady just yesterday, my secretary or receptionist called, and she says, a lady got a Bernina, and she said she got it at a store that closed down here. And I'm like, we haven't had a Bernina store closed down in what that? It was Jones.
15 years?
Yeah, 15 years. It's a newer machine. I said, yeah, and she doesn't have any training on it and wants to do the training. And so what people do at trade shows is they'll sell a machine at trade shows because they know they're not going to warranty it, and they know they're not going to whatever. And it's so then she called us and said, hey, can I get the mastery class? I'm like, yeah, they're $600 though. We have people that are trained to do those classes. It's $600 for those classes. And she said, well, I thought they were going to give me the training. I was like, you didn't think that if you bought it from, all of a sudden it changed. So I bought it and the store went out of business too. I bought it, at Road to California, so I want people to have what they want. And I hate it when I see people buy machines that I'm like, this isn't going to be what you need, so, but
two things there. Something that we've always said for a long time, education, right? We want to educate and have people. Education is a really fun experience if you learn and are able to participate, right? Education is a fun thing. I'm sure you told them already about the Riley Blake thing that we're doing. Ready?
The what?
The Riley Blake.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you guys are going to be able to see what I do on a day-to-day basis of ordering product. And they're also going to give you numbers that are realistic and retail numbers of, you write down, I want one collection of this, how much that actually looks like. So you guys are going to be able to learn a lot about this side of business. And to answer the juicy questions on pricing, they are essentially the machine that we wanted. They don't have enough to fill our retreat full of them. And so it looks like they just approved it. They're going to give us the upgraded version for the same price as the other version. So they're looking like we'll be able to give you the upgraded machine for the price of the one right below, which will even better. But you have to get special equipment for all that kind of stuff, and believe me, they're really tired of talking to me at this point. So we'll definitely have.
Hey, Brody, I have a quick question. This is kind of off the beaten track, but I'm really interested in your fulfillment process because I don't see how you get it all done and how you match up the collar. But is that something that you do in your warehouse and we would not be able to observe?
Well, we can show you that process. It's fulfillment. Yeah. Honestly, we were just talking about this yesterday. So yesterday, was it yesterday before yesterday? We were here the last couple of days. We've been here cutting orders till midnight. I mean, and it's just been me, Tianka, Zach, Ramey, and Bob. Dream team, baby. And it's been. We were kind of laughing, and Balthazar, he can't be named. He was asking questions about, well, why do we do it like this? Why do we do this? And we were like, dude, we figured out how to do this by ourselves in the middle of the night when the D-Stash first started. Like this process has progressed and progressed and progressed to what it is today. And everything that we did, we didn't have a business consultant that came in and said like, this is order fulfillment. Like our first order fulfillment was the first D-Stash. We were like, all right, we're going to figure this out.
I remember we couldn't figure out how to get the names to the product. Do you remember that?
We couldn't figure out how to get names to product. We couldn't figure out how to get people's information. And it was funny because I remember our first week of D-Stash. So the process is the product comes in, it gets prepped, we sell it, and then everybody orders it, and then from there we fulfill the orders, right? And I remember then after they get fulfilled, they get checked. So somebody checks each order that didn't. So somebody fills the order and they drop it off to the checker. The checker then goes through and checks every single item to make sure that the accuracy is there and that they got the right items they were asking for and the right quantities, etc. Then from there it gets packed, and then from there it gets shipped. And I remember, I remember doing the checking one of the first weeks of the D-Stash, and it was like 40 orders. Like it was nothing compared to what we do today. And I remember it was like 2 a.m. by the time I'm done. 4 a.m. we had started again. We had lost an item in one of them.
We lost an item, right? This is, customer service is key, right? We all know this. We lost an item, and there's only 40 of them, right? Like you could look at the table, and one of the tables had one item left on it. So
and it was like we didn't put it in somebody's order. You know what I mean?
And so we tore every last package open and
relabeled them all, reshipped them all. And like I remember we were talking about that the other night when we were back here.
Remember? At the end, someone just canceled.
After we done that whole thing, we saw that on our phone somebody had canceled that one extra item. But yeah, the different processes have been works in progress. And works different works in progress of just we kind of figure it out as we go. And obviously there's times we miss things. We're not perfect. We were on the show the other night, we were talking about if we have 300 orders in a night, which isn't unrealistic. There's a lot of nights, Saturday night we'll have 300 people order, and if 3 people get the wrong things,
you rolled it.
That's a 1% rate. Like no business runs on a 1% error. They run on like a 5 or a 5% error or something like that. So as much as we don't want there to be any mistakes, like I don't know, people just have to understand like 1% is pretty dang good. You know what I mean? We're doing the best that we can, and we also, I know this sounds kind of like an excuse. It's not. We also employ a lot of kids. I mean, we're teaching them their first jobs, or their first 17, 18 years old, and they've never had a job and whatever. And so sometimes mistakes happen, and we know they happen. And it's like, well, this is the learning curve for the kid. And we have, obviously we have the repercussions of it, of an unhappy customer or having to pay double shipping or whatever it is. And yeah, we caught a mistake the other day that was a $10,000 mistake that if we wouldn't have it happen and wouldn't have caught it in time, it would have been disastrous. I mean, it would have been $10,000 of product on top of loss of product, on top of it would have taken a month for every person to be contacted and things to be corrected. And so we do the best we can. We're definitely not perfect, but it's a work in progress.
I'll grab the machine.
Yes. The last show, it's about, we're about 2 or 3 days behind on shipments. It's all rolling quickly, as quick as it can. But yeah, I ended up letting go about half of our warehouse right before we started this. We had a bunch of stuff going on that just wasn't what it needed to be. There was issues between team members. There was issues with customer service. And I finally just said, you know what, forget it. I let go of a large chunk of our team. And that obviously slowed us down. I wasn't expecting that to happen and then go right into Balthazar's Bazaar. I have 3 new team members that actually started today that are in the warehouse. So that should help with speeding things up. And we're hoping by midweek next week, we'll be 100%. Everybody shipped out, everything back on track. But
well, so just so you guys can have perspective, this is the heavy equipment that I'm bought in. This right here is a fabric cutter.
So it cuts fabric from here to here.
Holy cow.
So, and the machine is about 48 pounds. It cuts straight through bone and all that kind of stuff. It's a pretty gnarly machine. However, when you have this much fabric,
so imagine if those are 108s and somebody cuts a 1 3/4 yard cut instead of a 3 yard cut, or somebody cuts 1 yard cuts of 108s instead of 3 yard cuts. I mean, you've cut 200 bolts at a time, at you guys know a 3 yard cut is $55. So multiply that, and then they cut the entire bolt down. That could be a $20,000 mistake by somebody not paying attention.
Yeah.
So
Brody,
we made those
Brody, I got my mat came in the mail, but I was so irritated because the mailman just rolled it up real tight to put it in my mailbox instead of putting it on my front porch. I know,
After all our work, mailing it
but
flat.
I opened it up and it laid flat. It's
Good.
perfect.
And that's the thing too, is there's a lot of times, we get, believe it or not, we probably get 2 or 3 customers a week that are really upset about something. And I would say 9 times out of 10, it's Tianco. No, 9 times out of 10, that is 100% out of our control. If we send, there's lots of times that it happens. It might have happened to you. I don't know who the people are that it's happened to, but sometimes they will scan out the packages and they'll take them, or they won't have their scanner with them. That's not something that I can, the USPS will come up, so they won't have their scanner, so they can't scan out. They say, I'll scan it when I get back to the whatever. And I'm like, whatever, maybe you will, maybe you won't.
We know one this month. The subscription boxes all went out, and it says pending fulfillment.
Pending fulfillment on them. So it says waiting for USPS to pick them up. And then I've had customers that call and say, it says it's still there, you haven't shipped it, you haven't whatever. I'm like, listen, give it a few days, like it'll show up, and all of a sudden it'll just say delivered. All of a sudden it'll be on your doorstep and it'll still say waiting to be picked up from our warehouse. And and there's things that are out of our control. We can't do it. We can't. If somebody comes in,
it was packaged perfect, and then the mailman did that.
Yeah, no, and even that, like we packaged them, we added cardboard layers, we did everything we could so that the mail wouldn't do that. And when they say on them, like, don't roll or fragile or whatever, and then, if the package gets lost, that's something that has to happen from the consumer to USPS. At that point, they've picked it up, and there's nothing I can do. I can't call for you and say, hey, the package got lost. Well, it doesn't, I can't do it.
We have recently, it's not funny, but it's funny, one of those moments. We roll outside, me and Brody. The guy's delivering a brother sewing machines, and he literally pushed a $20,000 machine out
of the truck onto the ground.
And so me and Brody picked up the box, put it back in his truck, and was like, "Yep, we're not taking this.
We're refusing that order." You know what I mean? Like, but if that was the other way around, if it came from our warehouse to you and that happened, you'd have to call FedEx. Because I can't do anything about it. At that point, it's between consumer and them. They wouldn't let me call for you. I would do it if we could, but
luckily we insure those.
Luckily we insure those for way more than what they're worth. So
yeah, well, in the past, I've ordered fabric in a pretty good size, container, and they'll bring it to my front porch and lay it by the front door. So I don't know.
Yeah, so there's a lot of. There's times that people call us and say, they get real upset about whatever, and at the end of the day, it's like, there's nothing we could have done with it. I got an email this morning that said they were really irritated about something. Oh, I'm gonna. that they were really irritated about that the order didn't ship together. And it was we shipped the cutting mat by itself and we shipped the notions by itself. And we said that, I don't know how many hundreds of times on the show, but she was really upset that she didn't get the number one thing that she wanted. And I just said, listen, like, it's coming. We're not trying to hurt anybody. We're not trying to, do anybody dirty. It doesn't make sense for us not to have the customer service because that gets around very fast. You know what I mean? So
my favorite one, and this is a little bit different than our shows, right? Because our shows is like 600 to 800 people. This is a little bit different. Is that the one that always kills me is that people feel like we don't want to sell them something, right? That we're a retail store, and they're like, "Well, you're picking on me, or like you don't want to ship this to me." It's like that's kind of how the whole works, right? Like we
feed our kids.
We have to ship these things, so we do the best we can.
Yeah, it's we do the best we can. And we appreciate everybody's patience because there are times too that we just totally make a mistake and we have to fix it, and we do fix it. Obviously, that's what customer service.
Brody, I'm
Yeah.
signing off right now.
Okay.
I've got things I have to go upstairs and do. So thanks for the information, and I'll keep an eye out for emails.
Awesome. Thanks, Linda. See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
So anyways, what other questions do we have? Sorry, Laura, I know that was like a really long explanation for like a very simple answer, but that was the long version of it. So.
Brody, this might be a really silly question because it included for the retreat, breakfast and dinner and lunch, is that we are bringing our own. How is lunch being worked out? And I'm sorry if you've covered this already again, sorry.
Lunch is, you're on your own for lunch. You can bring it with you. You can order it in. There's a million different places you can order from. And we've talked about doing like a sack lunch option where you pay whatever it is and we take care of lunch for everybody. But we're still kind of working out fine details on that.
After
Okay,
we
thanks.
did surveys and everyone was like overwhelming, like 90% of everyone that we talked about retreats and doing retreats said they want breakfast and
said no lunch. And I'm a lunch guy. Like I would way rather not have breakfast and eat lunch instead, but everything's different. What other questions do we have?
Brody came in late.
What? You broke up, Robin. Say it again. Maybe not.
She recorded it. Where are we going to be able to see it?
Yeah, we'll send this out on an email for this. If you came in late, we'll send this Zoom call out on an email. We'll probably just yeah, we'll send it to everybody. You don't have to watch it. Other questions you got? Maybe you have a question they don't really want to ask because everybody else is here. Like, I don't want to ask that. Right? You go for
Send
it.
Send it in a private message. And that way
Right,
you can answer it anonymously.
Right? You choose your initials, be like AC, the answer is. Yeah, any other questions we can answer? We're excited. It's going to be fun. Thank you. Thank you. Very good.
45 days?
Less than
45
that.
days?
Yeah, it's probably like that, like 45 days for like 6 weeks maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Like 45 days.
Cool.
It's like an eternity in Soviet time. It's like
Right.
45
like-
days in the world.
Yeah. It's like 8 new stashes. Got plenty of time. Okay, guys. Well, first treatment size then. Awesome. If nobody else has any questions, probably just log off. Again, anybody, if there's anything else, we're happy to answer it. But
And everyone has that phone number, yeah.
everybody has the retreat number. You're welcome to text us anytime. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Like 2 weeks before then, that phone becomes one of ours.
Yeah.
So
You're very welcome. All right, guys. I guess we'll get out of here. If anybody has any last minute questions, go ahead with them. But
we go live in.
we'll be live in 2.5
hours.
hours with what are we doing today? Thread. Thread
Oh.
is.
No,
So
don't say that.
hope you guys. Jennifer's like, no.
Jennifer, like, that's our weakness right there.
I've been
So-
trying to be so good.
We're gonna have every color of Aurifil and every color of Isocord. So in 3-packs. So if you're in the thread mood.
Do you have the new color builders?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, then I'm safe.
2022.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
No.
I'll bring them in for the retreat.
Just for you, Jennifer.
Thanks. I only need like 4 more.
Cool. Anything else, guys?
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
you.
We'll talk to you guys soon. And you'll get an email. You'll get an email with this recording if anybody jumped on late if you want to rewatch anything. So
Awesome.
cool.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
See you tonight.